I've just come in for trading now, and I just see straight away Euro Aussie dollar, and I'm just too late to get the trade on. 1536. It was the first setup I've seen. So there we go. Ichimoku 15 out of 16 arrows up, and here's a pullback 1, 2, 3. And you would have got the trade on there at 35. I was a little bit late, just by a minute or so as I came in. Okay, so let's keep an eye on that. I wanted to go over a little bit of some advanced strategies with you. Okay, so remember, if we put this on the hour, no matter what time frame you put it on here, your Ichimoku is not going to change. Okay. Now, there is way to trade the hours as well, but there is other things to look for. And so don't just go following this 10-minute strategy blindly for the hour. It is different. So I will, in due course, make videos on that. Okay. So we can see where those ZCOM pivot lines are. Okay. So you can see there's the daily pivot. There's your weekly resistance. Okay. There's a weekly pivot. There's a monthly resistance 2. A weekly resistance 1, 2. Okay, so just get familiar with them. Let's get back onto that 5. Okay, so this is a good example here. Okay, so now remember our EMAs. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Okay, there we go. So we've got the 200. You can see it just poking out there. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Okay, so there was our 200 EMA there. Okay, so it's trading above it. It's qualified. It's Euro Aussie dollar. Let's go to our Forex factory. They've just had the Great British Pound. Okay, and then later this afternoon, US dollar unemployment claims. So whenever US dollar high impact news comes out, stay out of all trades that are within the dollar index. Just stay out of trades. Okay, it's going to affect them. So let's go back to that. So when we set this up, we set up our 9 EMA, our 24, okay, our 62 and our 77. And I said 3 of those were based on Fibonacci retracement numbers. If I just take my fib tool here and I run it down, okay, I've changed mine a little bit, but because I like to have the numbers on. Now the Fibonacci numbers are 23.6, so we've rounded it up to a 24 EMA. I've left out the 38.2. The 50 on a Fibonacci tool is not a Fibonacci number, it's just a retracement of halfway between the low and the high, or the high and the low. It's not actually a fib number. Okay. Then we've got 61.8, which we've made our EMA 62. Now remember, our EMAs are exponential, and they're applied to the open. Okay. And then we've got another one there, 76. I'll move that out of the way. You can see it a bit better. 76.4. Okay. So we've just called that one 77. We've rounded up on all of them. Okay, then 100%. So that's our fib numbers. Okay, so let me take this off. If you want to get something off, you go to object list. I had some other things put on there. Just be careful you don't wipe off any of the stuff that you need for your setup. Where is it now? Oh, there it is. Right, so there it is then. So just highlight it there and delete. Okay. So what you'll see here, like now in the setup here, okay, we were looking, there's 3 candles there for the pullback. Now this only applies to the 3rd candle. Now while we were watching it, you can see where the wick is, or the tail, it actually went lower and it hit that 62 moving average, and then it got pushed back up. Okay, so now in this advanced strategy, what we're looking, now this only applies to the 3rd candle. We've already got 2 candles lined up, so then we would go to our Cedar Finance platform, get it set up for our 10-minute trade to expire at the end, or sorry, to start at the end of the expiration of this 3rd candle. Now while we were watching that 3rd candle, as soon as it hit one of our EMAs, okay, we could have entered the trade there. Okay, so it might be 2 minutes before the expiration of that candle, 3 minutes, it might be 1 minute into that candle. Then you'll end up with a trade, and then put it on. Then you'll end up with a trade that's going to be longer than 10 minutes. It might be an 11-minute trade, it might be a 12-minute trade, a 13-minute trade, if you understand what I'm saying. But you still have to have your qualifying factors. Your Ichimoku still needs to be up. It must only be on the third candle you can take it. Let's go a little bit back. It's about an hour before. Here was another trade lined up here. There was 1, 2 red candles on the pullback. Okay, then there was a third candle there. Okay. Now look where that went to. It went past our 24, so we could have entered the trade there. Okay, so if we had entered there, and then the next 2 candles, you can see where it ended, it would have been a winning trade. You can see here it's gone past. Okay, so sometimes you'll get a fast moving market. So if you take this little crosshairs here, let's have a look down where it ended up. It ended up down there. Now this is where you can start looking for some other support and resistance areas. So when I'm looking at this chart, I can see, okay, probably around about there is some support and resistance, because you can see there on that candle it's had a resistance at that level, which is 1.3343. Further on over here, that's 13.433 has become a resistance. Okay, let's go down and find another one. Probably about there, or there. If you scroll over here, you can see that it became a support level. Further back here, it became a resistance. Oops. You get the picture. But it's better to do it on the EMAs. So in this case here, you had a 1, 2, 3 pullback. Get it on the 24. Okay. Okay. Now, as I said to you before, it's hard to backtest with the Ichimoku, but what you will find over the last hour is probably been an uptrend. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3. On that third candle there, okay, it's kind of open, it's gone down. Now, when it came to the close, we could have entered a trade, and both it's gone down for the first 5 minutes, come up for the second, and it would have been a winning trade, because you would have entered there and exited there. Okay. Now, but it hasn't landed on any EMA. Okay. So it's kind of in no man's land. So sometimes you've got to look at that and go, well, what is that price bouncing off? Is it bouncing off anything, or it's just run out of time in 5 minutes and it's possibly going to go further down? So let's have a look. See, there's not much support or resistance there. There is further on, but I'm looking backwards. Maybe more over there. Okay. So this is where it's going to come to your discretion. Okay, so you've seen a nice 3 pullback, but it's between the 24 and the 66. If you had waited another 5 minutes, you would have seen here where it's bounced off. Look, it's bounced off the 62 there perfectly, and then boof, you've got a lovely 10-minute trade there. It's all the way up. Now, of course, you want to win every trade, but believe you me, when you've got big trades going and you sort of somewhere in the middle here, you go, well, what's it bouncing off? It's still within our criteria of 3 pullback candles. You put your big trade on, you know, you've got a $500,000 on there, and you see it boof, and you go, gosh, I should have waited till it got there. And then you put it on there, you see it come back. In this case, our 3 pullback candles still would have ended up in a win, because look, you would have got on at the close of that red candle, you would have won your trade there. Okay, so those are things to be aware of. Okay, so let's see this one here that's actually live at the moment. 1, 2, 3, we would have entered over there. Our next 5 minutes has gone up and down, and both we would have won the trade. Okay, so you would have exited there. Right now, you would have, if you had have waited till it hit the 62, okay, it went up and then it's pulled back, so that's the wick. how then it opened again on the 62, and it's over here. It's got like a minute left to trade. Let's see where it would have ended up. Okay, it's 11:40. Oh, sorry, it's 4 minutes to trade. If I just look at my candle here, 3 minutes 39. Let's see how video is doing. Okay, we've still got time. Okay, so you get the idea. Now, people say, why don't you put that 38.2 Fibonacci number in, why don't you put the 50%? What I find, it does bounce off those numbers, definitely, but more often than not, if it's going to pull back, it'll pull straight through that 50 and go to the 62. Look at that. Okay, so you end up getting on too early in many of the cases. Okay, let's see, there was another one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it pulled off nothing. It might have bounced off a 38.2. Let's call it 38.2 or 39. Let's put an indicator in. Let's say 39. Okay, it's kind of almost bounced off that 39. It's bounced it. I mean, these Fibonacci levels are, they definitely are followed. I mean, the market follows them and does respect them. Okay, but what you want to do is you don't want to get, you're going to end up watching too many Fib numbers, and that's why I just keep it to these 4. That 9 is more indicative for me. Like I said there, let's say you were in an uptrend, okay, and then, so we're in an uptrend now, and we start getting a pullback. This 9 EMA comes right down and crosses our 62 there. Okay, that is definitely means that there's potential change in direction. So as I said in the explanation, if you're counting candles and you're on your 3rd candle or your 2nd pullback and there's 9 EMAs crossed the 62, it cancels the trade out. It's not qualified anymore. The same as if it hits your 200 EMA or crosses it. So I can try and scroll back here a little bit to find one. Okay, let's have a look there. Okay, so you're looking here for a pullback. 1, 2, oh, it hit the 200. Just cancel the count. Okay, it did actually go back in the direction. It would have been a winning trade, but just leave it alone. When it's bunched up and scrunched up like that, you can see there's no markets open there. That's 4 hours before London opens. I mean, that's in the middle of the night there. Okay, so same down here. I mean, I don't know what the Ichimoku monitor was saying there, but you're very close to your 200 in here. Okay, wait till it goes either side of it. I mean, this is, you can see, woof, woof. That's dangerous territory there. Okay, I hope that's clear to you. Let's make this large. We're coming to the end of that potential trade. Let's see what it would have happened. Okay, so there was our 1, 2, 3 candle pullback. We would have entered it as normal for 10 minutes and we would have won here. Okay, if we had waited for the, if we had got on when it hit the 62 over there, well, we would have won much more comfortably. Can you see that? Let's see, and there's a 4th trade there. It's definitely bounced off that. I mean, we would have got in over here or here. But let's see how this 4th candle's worked out. It's gone there and it's pulled back. It's about to expire. Okay. That's expired. Okay, that's the end of that candle. So that would have expired there. So you can see that 3rd candle is actually a better trade. As it came down, it hit the 62, boof, enter it. It pulled back, 5, 10, you still won. If you had got in here, you won comfortably. Okay, it's just something to watch for. I'll try and make a few other videos in due course. Okay,